Command versus program. I was looking up the difference between a DUSA and user add, and an explanation is that user add is a command while a DUSA is a Perl script. I understand what a Perl script is, but what I do not understand is what a command then exactly is. I always thought that commands like ls, ln, cd etc. are all simple programs written in whatever language that simply do one thing. What is the difference between these simple programs and a Perl script? I of course know that a Perl script is not compiled but interpreted at runtime, but I guess that is not the only difference.
A built-in command is part of the shell. A program is executed by the shell. Built-in commands are contained within the shell itself. When the name of a built-in command is used as the first word of a simple command, see simple commands, the shell executes the command directly, without invoking another program. Built-in commands are necessary to implement functionality impossible or inconvenient to obtain with separate utilities. This URL.
Command just means a way to tell an application or system to do something. An application will typically accept many different commands, either from the GUI, from stdin, but other methods are possible, e.g. a Unix socket or named pipe, some sort of web API, an RPC connection, or some other custom protocol. An application that does only one thing, then exits, typically without a GUI, can also be called a command, because you can really only give this application one meaningful command. This is how small programs like ls and such work and why they are called commands. But you wouldn't call Photoshop a command, but you'd certainly issue commands within it via the GUI. However, the term can mean different things to different people. In your example, command is being used to describe an executable that is run directly, versus a file that requires a script interpreter to work. The distinction can be important because when you are running a Perl script, usart-bint perl is the binary that is actually running, so if you want to kill a long-running Perl script, that's what you have to look for in PS. However, most shells have built-in commands that are commands to the shell itself and don't cause an external executable to run. For example, cd is handled by bash itself and it doesn't call spint cd or similar.
In simple terms, a command is an instruction, or a set of instructions, to be carried out by a computer. Standalone commands. Fundamental Unix utilities such as ls, ln, etc. are, usually, written in C and compiled to be standalone executable programs that don't require an interpreter to be executed. They usually require certain library files to be installed on the system, but that's an answer for another question. Scripts. A script is a collection of commands, and in fact, scripts themselves are considered to be a command. A Perl script is a sequence of Perl statements and requires a Perl executable, standalone and compiled, program to interpret the Perl statements. Sometimes large and complex interpretative scripts, in languages such as Perl, Python, and Ruby, are also referred to as interpreted programs, while the term script is reserved for shorter and simpler scripts. A shell script is a sequence of other commands, any type of command, and it requires a Unix shell such as bash to interpret the script. From the bash man page. Bash is an SH-compatible command language interpreter that executes commands read from the standard input or from a file. Shell built-ins. Shells usually have built-in commands which are neither standalone programs nor scripts. Instead, they are part of the shell itself and run directly by the shell. cd is an example of such a built-in command. Sometimes there are commands which exist as shell built-ins and as standalone commands at the same time, e.g., the echo command. Echo on its own executes the shell built-in, while the standalone command can be executed by providing its full path. Run built-in version of echo. Run standalone echo program. Note: the above specifics refer to a Unix environment, but the same principles apply to a Windows environment.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.